Coach, how important was the Duda Banks blocked field goal on Saturday from your first?
That awesome. He's been doing it. He had a big one last year versus Central Florida. Coach Book has been getting those guys. Our biggest thing was just getting lined up. We get lined up, we're going to be all right. So hats off to those guys. Huge play. Anytime you do that, then you're playing behind. You have to. The 2-point conversion's hard enough as it is. So that's a big play.
This one's kind of in the weeds, but how long has Jason Llewellyn been working as a long snapper?
I need a weed eater to answer that question. That is in the weeds. He's been working since last spring. The problem is, we've got 3 snappers, and I don't want to burn Ryland's red shirt, because we got Jackson. So it helps having Jace. But to answer your question, I hope that helps. That he was good. He was a quarterback at Alito at one time, and then he's a pretty good deep snapper. So it helps having him so we can travel him and not waste Ryland's red shirt.
How did you just evaluate how your special teams overall did on Saturday?
I think you guys know I'm about field position. So anytime you win the field position battle on special teams, I consider that a win. We had a shot there. I thought we were going to get one of those punt returns loose. Guy got him by basically a finger. I think it'd be a touchdown if he got through it. I thought Jack punted the ball pretty good, except for that one, not the one that went in the end zone. I still think that was a good play by Dre, but one he kicked out, I think, the 20. So, and those hurt our net because you got to put those things inside the 10 like we're used to. But Jack's been really good for us. I love what he brings to our game plan from the rugby punt. I've never been a big rugby punt guy, but he's able to do that, and that's kind of his strength. But he can also hit a traditional ball too. So it's been challenging for me to kind of throw those in the game plan. But it's been also a blessing because we got a weapon that we've never had before. I've never had.
Is alternating between the 2 kickers throughout the entire season a possibility at this point?
I'm going to do it until it doesn't work. It's worked, so I'm not going to change. I'm not the smartest guy, but I've always been fair with guys, honestly, and I think that's, I told those guys, you guys compete, and that's what they've been doing, and I think it's helping our football team, and the whole team loves it, and those 2 guys love it, so keep doing it, and hopefully it works all season.
Did you have any hesitation about putting Reese out there, if I remember correctly, fourth quarter, 74-16?
No, like I said, he's earned that spot, so we got confidence. I got confidence for all of our guys. That's kind of the thing. It doesn't matter who it is. We try to throw them out there, and that's the cool part about college football. That's why they're here. They're here to perform, and if they don't, somebody else is going to get that opportunity.
What have you seen from Cincinnati's interior line and how they're trying to stop the run?
They're good up front. They're really good. I like that. They got a good football team. Last week's team was good too. I thought that was probably the best front that we'd faced. D-line, linebackers. This week, these guys they're good. They got some players. They're physical. And the good thing is, I think we got some guys too. I like to think that 28 and his compadres they're going to go to play too. So I think up front, Coach McGuire and Coach Cochran, we've got a challenge. There's no doubt about that. But the thing that's helping us this year is we're throwing the ball down the field too. They're not able to load the box like they did last year. So I think having the receivers that we got, tight ends, making the plays, it's making it where we're not playing with as many guys in the box like we did last year.
You kind of mentioned it, but Dillingham said after the game they kind of invited you guys to run a little bit after the first couple of series. How did you kind of see that?
Oh, 100%. Like I said, when we just marched down the field on those 2 drives because their safeties were loading the box, well, then they started playing those guys off. Well, then we've got to hit some runs, which we did a little bit. But I thought they did. That Dillingham's a good defense coordinator. Those guys, their scheme was really good, and this week same thing. We've played this scheme before, but they got like I said, their players. They got some dudes up front.
Coach, what was your evaluation of Cam Dickey in his first game as RB?
He probably had the best run of the night. That was a huge. People don't realize that it was 3rd and whatever it was 10, and we kind of got stopped, and that was a big run. You know, how he did that. What's crazy was he hit that almost, I'm not sure if you guys were there, but this spring he hit that almost exact same play. He had the spin move, broke outside, you know. Next time we just got to go score. That's what I told him. I said, it's a great move. Let's go score now. You can make everything happen back there. Go make it worth in the end zone.
McGuire mentioned that Matt Rule said y'all are one of the best teams in the country running the counter. Why do y'all think y'all are so good at running?
You know, I think two reasons. I think we got two really good coaches. I mean, Coach Cochran and Coach McGuire, not Joey. Joey's not a good offensive line coach. I don't know if he told you, he played offensive line, I think, at one time, but Clay McGuire is a good O-line coach, and I think just the schemes that we run with that are really good. I think Taj and those guys those guys are really good at setting their blocks, at being patient. So I think that's kind of one of those runs where if you're good at it, you're always going to be good at it. And then finding other plays off of that, which the Wizard finds a way to do, you know, some play action stuff off of it. It makes it hard on defenses to really be able to settle in on it.
With Wesley Smith coming in as scout team running back last week, is there any conversations there if they're maybe playing a little bit on the offensive side as well?
No. No, Wes is going to be a linebacker. He's going to play special teams. Wes is he's a good football player, but he ain't got that gear those young guys got. But he was, I mean, he gave a great look. You know, that's the thing about it is our guys, you know, whether it's him doing it, you know, or Jacoby giving him Adam Hill, they've given our defense some great looks at running back. So, you know, I was glad our defense played well last week, man. I like watching them come downhill and hit their other running back for once.
Speaking of Jacoby, what's been your assessment on him so far, like going up here in the season?
Farther ahead than I thought he would be, just from the learning curve, being a freshman, you know, coming from a small school. He's picked up the offense really well, and now we're starting to be able to, if you see, use him in certain packages to do things with him. I'm going to dial him up this week on special teams as well. So the more those guys can handle, the more that we're going to put on them. You know, that's the biggest thing. You know, you just think the kid's a good athlete, you throw all kinds of stuff on them. Well, that's not how it works. They got to learn, you know. Plus, they got to learn, you know, the football game, what they're supposed to do as well, not just practice. So, yeah, the more that he learns, the more stuff we're going to add on him and Cam, same way. You know, and the other freshmen, they're the exact same way too. The more they can handle, the more you start putting on them. But you don't want to just throw the kitchen sink at them because then, you know, they hit the wall too fast.
What do you thought of the kickoff unit, both what Reese has done in coverage?
I think our coverage has been really good. You know, we had the one, I guess it was last week maybe, that we let the guy outside. That kind of pissed me off. But those guys, like I said, though, you guys know, I mean, it's a field position. You get someone stopped on the 15 on a, you know, that's a big deal because it makes them drive. That's why I was so upset on that one, the second punt. You know, after we down the one on the 1 yard line, we had a chance to get the same thing. You know, you want to make people drive. Driving 98 yards is tough. I mean, on air it's hard, much less going against the defense. So, yeah, anytime you can get guys to return it and, you know, keep them inside the 20 is huge because, you know, most people, they want a fair catch. I don't want a fair catch. I want to give Dre a chance to, you know, we're going to hit. They had a good scheme against us last week too versus our return. We had him the second time. I thought he was going to break it because we had it blocked up exactly and we just missed one of the backside guys. But that's kind of the way, you know, you got to look at it from the field position standpoint. You know, if they return it, you want to stop them. If we return it, we want to get past the 25-yard line.
Ever had chili on spaghetti like they eat in Cincinnati?
You know what? One time, Bob Stoops is, you know, he's from Youngstown, and he gave me some, I don't know what it's called. What's it? Skyline chili. And, yeah, I put on spaghetti. And he's, you know, he tries to tell me about how, it's all right. I don't know, it's all right. I don't think it's nothing great. But I tasted it. I thought it was all right. I'd rather have just regular Italian spaghetti, but that was their deal. So, I mean, if that's what they do up there, let them do it. We were down here, I'd just have regular spaghetti with maybe a little garlic bread and a side salad. So.